It's June in the Kimberley, only a few weeks after the late wet season. Everything is very green, the temperature has dropped, and rivers and creeks have receded enough for the tourist season to start. A part of Australia 5 times the size of Tasmania. The Kimberley has virtually only one sealed road running through its middle. There are also some major unsealed roads, but most of the region is still very difficult to access. The strange rock formations of the Bungle ranges are a major fascination for visitors to the Kimberley. 250 kilometres south of the coast and just inside the Western Australian border, they are accessible by 4-wheel drive, but it's easier to get there by flying from Kununurra further north. Kununurra is the largest settlement in the Kimberley and is at the heart of the Ord River irrigation scheme. Its ample water comes from Lake Argyle, Australia's largest man-made lake, over which we fly on the way to the Bungles. The Bungle ranges were hardly known to anyone but the local Aboriginals until the 1980s. They were discovered by the rest of the world when a journalist filming a cattle documentary stumbled on them in 1982. News of them spread quickly, and in 1987 the area was set aside as a reserve and named Purnululu National Park. The Bungle ranges are considered to be the most outstanding example of cone karst sandstone in the world. The sandstone and conglomerate rocks of the Bungles were laid down as fine sand, gravel and clay about 360 million years ago. Later uplifted and eroded, this sandstone in its raw form is quite soft. When it's exposed to the weather, however, its surface forms a tough skin. Depending on the clay content of the rock, the exposed surface is either oxidized or coated with a range of cyanobacteria. Both these processes form a hardened skin. The oxidized surfaces are a red color, while the cyanobacteria turn the surface darker grey. Alternating layers of clay-rich stone give the formation their characteristic striped pattern. The northern end of the range is composed more of conglomerates, making for different surface finishes, but the erosion pattern is similar to the finer layered sandstones of the southern end. Echidna Gorge, at the northern end of the Bungles, leads past prehistoric Livistonia Victoria fan palms into a narrow weathered rift in the rock. The local flowers blooming in June include the prickly grevillea, the hibiscus leptoclaudus, the Fitzroy wattle, and this interesting shrub I haven't yet got a name for. 13 species of spinifex grow in the Purnululu National Park, a bigger variety than found anywhere else in Australia. Termites are just about the only creature that consume spinifex, though they do not eat it themselves, but rather feed it to a fungus, which they grow for food in the cellars of their nest. Termites build new mud nests wherever their migrating queen chooses to land. Another native of the area is the Mitchell's water monitor, feeding from water holes left behind after the wet. The Piccaninny Creek and the Beehive formations at the southern end of the ranges have been made a little more famous by the Quantasads. The creek's white sandstone rock bed erodes through the grinding action of pebbles washed around in the wet. Nearby, Cathedral Gorge is a natural amphitheatre, also formed by the action of water. The gorge becomes home to a major waterfall in the wet season. The area gets around 700 millimetres of rain each year, most of it between January and March. In 2003, the Bungle ranges became World Heritage listed for their outstanding universal geological value and natural beauty.